Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song called Don't Fear the Reaper, and this lesson requires no cowbell. However, we're going to start off with that intro lick. So we're going to start open A, and then second fret on the D, and then second fret on the G string, and then open G, and then you go to third fret on the low E string, second on the A string, open D, open G, and then we go to first fret on the low E string, and then third fret on the A string, open D, and then open G, and then third fret on the low E string, and then second on the A, and then open D, and then open G. And actually hear that through a lot of the tune actually is kind of that A, E, A, G, G, B, D, G, F, C, D, G, G, B, D, G. And I know that's really quick, but that could be a very cool thing to kind of work on. You might even want to kind of think about doing that finger style randomly. You could kind of line up your fingers actually kind of using thumb and index and middle. Sometimes this can feel a little bit better because when you get to the G and the F, or kind of the 3-2-0-0 and the 1-3-0-0, you could kind of go thumb, index, middle, ring on that part. Actually, that can make it a little bit easier because the fingers actually can kind of get lined up for the strings. So I'm kind of using the low E string, or the thumb for the low E string, index on the A string, middle on the D, and the ring finger on the G string to kind of line up that lick, and I'm kind of adjusting that for the A minor. But that might be kind of another way to kind of work through the tune. Now the chords that would kind of back that up would start on an A minor chord. When we play A minor, first finger goes to the B string on the first fret, second finger goes to the D string on the second fret, third finger goes to the G string on the second fret, and if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from the A minor, we'll be going to a G major chord. When we play G major, first finger goes to the A string on the second fret, second finger on the low E string on the third fret, and the third finger on the high E string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the G, we'll be going to an F major chord. If you know the bar F major, we'll talk about a really easy way to play this in a moment. But you do your first finger across the entire first fret, second finger on the G string, second fret, third finger on the A string, third fret, and the pinky on the D string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F major bar chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now a good substitute for that, though, if you're just starting out or you just hate bar chords, is F major 7. When we play F major 7, first finger goes to the B on the first fret, second finger goes to the G on the second fret, and the third finger goes to the D string on the third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds an F major 7, and it sounds really, really groovy, happy. And then from the F, we'll be going right back to the G chord. So a lot of the song, actually, kind of our verse and our chorus is kind of that A minor, G, F, G, or our intro and our verse. Actually, our chorus is slightly different, A minor, G, but we use the same chords, F, G. But a lot of times with a song like this, to make it more interesting, I like adding something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So if we just took the A minor and tried that a lot, you'd have down, down, up, down, up, down. Is because of how fast the chords are, you may want to kind of half that strum pattern. One way to do that is to just do down, down, up on all the chords. So you could have A minor with a down, down, up, G with a down, down, up, F with a down, down, up, G with a down, down, up, A minor with a down, down, up, G with a down, down, up, F with a down, down, up, G with a down, down, up. Or if you wanted to, you could kind of half the strum pattern between the chords. So you could do the A minor with a down, down, up, and then go to G for the up, down, up, and then the F with a down, down, up, and then go to the G for the up, down, up. Either way, that A minor, down, up, G, up, down, up, F, down, down, up, G, up, down, A minor, down, down, up, G, up, down, F, down, down, up, G, up, down, up. And then we're basically going to be repeating that until we get to our chorus part. On our chorus, we go to F major, and then G major, and then we stay on A minor. It's kind of like a whole strum pattern on the A minor. And then we go to F major, but then we go to an E minor chord, and we play E minor. First finger goes to A on the second fret, second finger on the D string on the second fret, and if you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from the E minor, actually, we go right back into kind of our verse progression, which kind of becomes our chorus tag, is that A minor, G, F, G. So we tried our strum pattern through our chorus. Our first F and G kind of half, and then our A minor has our whole strum pattern, and then we kind of half that F and the E minor in the end. So we'd have F with a down, down, up, G with a down, down, A minor, down, down, up, down, up, F, progression. Another way to do it is to kind of half those with the down, down, up on the first chord, up, up, down, up on the second. So you'd have F, down, up, G, up, down, up, A minor, down, down, up, down, up, F, down, down, up, E minor, up, down, up, A minor, down, down, up, G, down, down, up, F, down, down, up, G, down, down, up. Kind of going back and through into our chorus tag. Now there's some really cool lead guitar licks that kind of come in through that part too, and if you wanted to add in those, you'd have 15 on the high E string, and then 13 on the high E, 12 on the B on the high E, 13 on the B string, and then 12 on the high E, and then 15 on the B, and then 13 on the B, 12 on the B, 12 on the G, 12 on the D, and then 14 on the G string. So you got 15, 13, 12, 15, 12, 15, 13, 12, 12, 12, 14. And then we kind of end up with another part where it's kind of going back and forth, actually kind of just like on the chorus tag. And then we end up with another lead lick where you could play 14 on the G, and then 12 on the B, 13 on the B, 12 on the B, 14 on the G, 15 on the B, 13 on the B, and then 12 on the B, 12 on the B, 12 on the G, 12 on the D, and then 14 on the G. So you got 14, 12, 13, 12, 14, 15, 13, 12, 12, 12, 12, 14. And then from there, we kind of go back into kind of our lick again. And then we end up with another lead lick where you could go 14 on the G string, 12 on the B, 12 bend on the B string, so kind of playing and pressing up and into the guitar at the same time, and then 12 on the high E, and then back to the 12 bend on the B, 12 on the B, 14 on the G, 12 on the G, 14 on the D, and then 12 on the B, and then 14 on the G. So you got 14, 12, 12 bend, 12, 12, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14. So we want to kind of play around with those too. And then right after after we end up going through kind of our chorus tag, we end up with almost a stop time kind of on our A minor, kind of a big push on the A minor kind of in that section. And then we end up back on our intro lick. So you might want to kind of bring that lick back through, especially if you're kind of taking all these parts and figuring out how you're going to cover it. Now something else I think about adding to the song too though is bass notes. And a lot of times on the first down of the down, down, up, up, down, up, you can throw in a bass note for the chord. So on the A minor, you'd have the A for your bass, down, up, down, up, and on the G, you'd have the low E string for your bass. On the F bar, you'd have the low E string for your bass. On the F major 7, you'd have the D string for your bass, down, up, down, and on the E minor for our chorus, we'd have the low E string for the bass. So another way to kind of work it through our verses is to kind of have a bass down up on each chord. Bass, down up, F for the bass, down up, G with low E bass, down up, A minor with an A bass, down up, G with low E bass, down up, F with the bass, down up, G with low E bass, down up. Or if you're digging on the halving, you can kind of work the A minor with your bass down up, and then do your G with your up, down up, and then F with the bass down up, and then G with the up, down up. So we have A minor with an A bass, down up, G up, down, F with the bass, down up, G up, down, A minor with an A bass, down up, G up, down, F with the bass, down up, G up, down, A minor with an A bass, down up, G up, down, F with the bass, down up, G up, down, A minor with an A bass, down up, G up, down, F with the bass, down up, G up, down up. And we basically be repeating that until we get to our chorus part. And we could do that same idea on the chorus. We could work it as kind of a bass down up on the halving chords, and then our A minor with our whole pattern, and then F with the bass, down up, E minor with low E bass, down up, and then we'd be kind of back into our verse progression. It's kind of our chorus tag. So we'd have F with the bass, down up, G with low E bass, down up, A minor with an A bass, down up, down up, F with the bass, down up, E minor with low E bass, down up, A minor with an A bass, down up, G with low E bass, down up, F with the bass, down up, G with low E bass, down up. Or if you're digging on the halving, you could have F with the bass, down up, G up, down, A minor with an A bass, down up, down up, F with the bass, down up, E minor, up, down, A minor with an A bass, down up, G up, down, F with the bass, down up, G up, down, A minor with an A bass, down up, G up, down, F with the bass, down up, G up, down up. Kind of back on that verse progression at the very end. And then we basically be repeating that until we get to another big stop time, where we do a big A minor. And then there's this cool little lead guitar part that kind of comes in where you can play 6 on the B string, 9th fret on the B string, 8 on the high E string. And And we kind of repeat that about 4 times, going 6, 9, 8, 6, 9, 8, 6, 9, 8, 6, 9, 8. And then from there, then we go to another lick where we play 6, 8 on the B string, and then go 7th fret on the high E string. And we do that about 4 times. So we're kind of going F, G, B, 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 F, A flat C, A flat C. So it's almost like a little F minor arpeggio. And then we're kind of going into almost what could almost be a G7 arpeggio. And actually that's sort of the chords that would kind of back this up if you wanted to kind of play just the chords behind it. But there's this awesome lick kind of that comes in where you play low E on the 1st fret, 3rd on the low E, 4th fret on the low E, 3rd on the low E, 1st fret on the low E, and then we go 3rd on the low E, 2nd on the A, 5th fret on the A, and then 6th fret on the D, and then 5th fret on the D. So we're going F, G, A flat, G, F, G, B, D, E flat, G, F, G, A flat, G, F, G, B, D, E flat, G, or A flat, G. Now if you wanted to, you could kind of thicken that up by using some things called power chords. And what a power chord is kind of like our F lick actually, or shaped from the beginning, where you'd have 1st finger on the low E string on the 1st fret, 3rd finger on the A string on the 3rd fret, and if you strum just the E and the A string together, that's something called F5. What we're doing is we're playing an F note, and then if you counted up 5 notes on your fingers, F, G, A, B, C, a C note at the same time, it's kind of 5 away. So you could kind of take that lick and kind of back it up with that shape, kind of following those notes. So you'd have an F5, G5, A flat, G5, F5, G5, B5, D5, E flat 5, D, G5, or A flat 5, D5. So 1, 3, 4, 3, 1, 3, 2, 5, 6, 5. So you might want to kind of think about thinking that lick up, kind of with the power chords through that part. Now if you wanted to back it up with chords though, you could use an F minor chord for that first lick. And the way you play F minor, 1st finger goes across the entire 1st fret, 3rd finger on the A string 3rd fret, and the pinky on the D string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from there, we could go to a G major chord actually through that part. You could just make it a regular G. If you wanted to kind of match that arpeggio lick, or that lick where we're doing the F, G, B lick, you can almost make it a G7 chord too. So if you need a G7, do 1st finger on the high E on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the A string 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the low E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G7 chord, which sounds really nasty, and it's kind of supposed to. Or if you're digging on the bar chords, actually, you could do it as kind of a 3rd fret bar, 2nd finger on the G string 4th fret, 3rd finger on the A string 5th fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G7 too. So if you don't mind bar chords, that could be a cool way to do it too. So you could have F minor with a down, down, up, down, F minor, down, down, up, down, G7 with G major, G, F minor, da 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 G7, da da da. Or you could add bass notes to that, and on the F minor you'd have the low E string for your bass on your F minor. On your G you'd have the low E string for your bass. So we kind of work it as kind of a bass. Down, up, F minor with a bass, down, down, F minor with a low E bass, down, G with low E bass, down, G with low E bass, down, down, and then it almost sounds like we kind of do a stop time on that, almost like big downs actually, kind of on those, like when the licks kind of stop. And then from there, then we go back into our intro licks. So you might want to kind of bring that back from the beginning. And then from that, then we kind of go into our chorus part, or we can even kind of strum through that part. So we could do it with the down, down, up on each chord. We have A minor, down, up, G, down, up, F, down, up, G, down, or we could have bass, down, up, G, bass, down, up, F with the bass, down, up, G, bass, down, or maybe A minor, down, up, G, up, down, F, down, up, G, up, down, or A minor, bass, down, up, G, up, down, F with the bass, down, up, G, up, down, and then we be repeating that until we get to our last chorus, where we're kind of back to that F, down, G, low E bass, down, A minor with the A bass, down, down, F with the bass, down, E minor with low E bass, down, up. And then we're back to our verse progression for our chorus type. So A minor, G, F, G, A minor, G, F, G, or A minor, down, F, G, up, down, F with the bass, down, F, G, up, down, A minor, bass, down, F, G, up, down, F with the bass, down, F, G, up, down. Or you can just kind of keep that intro lick going through that song, actually, kind of all the way through. But that's the basics of how you can strum through Don't Fear the Reaper, that Blue Oyster called. So good luck!